Let me put my light on. I've just bought blue tack. I've had to buy blue tack. To stick this fucking stand. It wouldn't even stand up with while not moving. That literally does not take to a dashboard. I bought that yesterday. I paid fucking £6. I also fucking bought a fucking air freshener as well yesterday at the same time. That fell off. Luckily, I bought fucking seat covers, waterproof ones. That stop that, and the blue tack's not even working. This is like the worst fucking design bullshit. It's like it cannot take the design of it, cannot take the weight of the phone in that position at all. I can't talk without this being on it. And what I was saying was, now that's not fucking working. It's like everything in this fucking shit fucking world. You just get ripped off with everything. Probably blue tack is not even as good as it used to be. It's probably not as tacky as it used to be. It's probably a load of shit as well. Like everything. You just get fucking ripped off. Where can I put it? Gives a fuck. Put it there. Where do I start? Where do I start? And this is the problem that I have with everything. Now, I've got no hope in this world of doing anything other than training for heaven. Now, this world doesn't matter. This world is a training program for heaven. It's heaven that matters, not here. Here is a plan. Here is written from start to finish. This is the fictional world of the exampla for this TV series I'm making called the Exampla, and this is the fictional world of El Capitan, aka the Mad Hatter. Now, where do I fucking start? Is where I always fucking think. It would literally take me a lifetime of talking it out and talking it out and talking it out, and what they've done is restrict that from the start by that. And am I wasting too much time on this? Do I have a hope for people? Well, I'm doing it for myself. It occupies my time, and the more I do it, the stronger I become, and the stronger I have became. And it makes me feel better, because that way then I know I did try. Like, I have tried. And as long as I've tried and then know that, there's no way out of it for anyone, what can I do about that? I can't really do nothing about it, because I've just learned how impossible it would be in heaven to try to help and get the residents prisoners, the slaves of the mental asylum, to look after themselves, take control of their lives, and start to work for creation. Now, it states clearly in the Bible, I'm going to go biblical a little bit, sod it. The Holy Bible, man. It states clearly in the Bible that there was a war in heaven. That the devil manipulated mankind. And there are a number of interpretations to it. Does any of it really matter? Why has that fucking light gone off? And now that light's not coming on. Let's turn my fucking car on. Well, actually, I don't want to turn my car on because it wastes up too much fucking battery and light. Let me try something else. With a bit of luck, let me do that as well. It's not actually even letting me. Go any wider now than it fucking that. That is on front camera. Look how zoomed that is. Why is that not working now? Is it because I didn't start it on wide camera? But I've always been able to zoom it and make it 0.5 extra wide. So now my phone is not working. How it did. On the other videos that I've made, that's possible. Now, I don't make this up for anyone. Who am I making it up for? I don't even know who I'm talking to, do I? I'm talking to myself. I'll just turn the light on. It's easier. Let me try and see if I'm doing something wrong here. No, it's not letting me. It's letting me go one way, but not another. I'm not holding that exactly close to that. It's just zoomed up to fuck. But whatever, you know, I'm not going to worry. Because this is what I'm up against. It's what I'm up against. It's too big of a problem, meaning me trying to talk it out with people. So, you know, I don't really pay that much attention to it all. It's a joke to me. Because it's a joke. This world doesn't matter. It's about heaven. It's about saving heaven, or trying to save heaven. Whether that's capable or not, because it tells you that God couldn't defeat, or the All-Father couldn't defeat the devil. It could well be a suicide mission, meaning, you know, there's no guarantees when you get there. So, you know, it's just, is what it is. It's one last try. Do or die. You know, so, you know, I never think of heaven as being good. I don't think of this life as being good. It just is what it is, you know, and you're either able to cope with that, you were designed to cope with that, or not. Am I on my own? Well, I'm on my own now. shared a song, Highway to Hell. The lyrics state, you'll be going there with your friends. Hello? I've got no friends. So I could be going on my own. And it's just a song. Don't really mean anything. Or does it? Could do. There's songs that are shit. You know. I don't really take it all that seriously. I just go through day to day. A song is a song. It doesn't make it fact. Just like if it's written in a book, it don't make it fucking fact. It means nothing. It just depends on your interpretation of what reality is and what this world is. This is a training program for heaven or hell, depending on your interpretation of those things. It ain't great, whatever it is, but life's not great. If you're someone that needs drugs, and I'm on coffee now, I drink loads of coffee. It makes me feel better because it's a drug. So I'm John Rambo, John Coffee. I'm on the coffee because it literally makes me feel better, and you get highs and lows on it as well. So that's my next thing I've got to try and give up. And I did give it up. I have given it up. So that is the next drug of society that I need to give up. But at the minute, it helps. Makes me feel better. I've given up tea. Tea, again, tea literally, if you look at what tea does to a cup, that does that to your teeth and could cause problems in your mouth. Like nearly fucking everything. But anyway, I'm drinking coffee at the minute. I've decided to fucking give myself a rest and get some food and that, because I talk about it when I'm a bit more relaxed. So now I've eaten some food and I'm a little bit more relaxed. Yes, it's this thing here, £6. £6 I've paid for this. And it don't work. I've been swindled, theft, basically, for something that probably costs about 5p or 20p to make en masse using moulds and liquid and a few machines. They're sold in the majority of the supermarkets. Tesco's is a big one. What can I do about this? Theft. £6. I also bought an air freshener yesterday that was hanging from there. I can't remember if I've gone over this or not, but I think I did mention it. But there, that come off, just fell off this morning. So there's a tenner. That's a tenner that I fucking spent out of my money that I was swindled out of. If I nick 20p's worth of fucking stuff from fucking Tesco's, the police will be there to put me in handcuffs, lock me in a cage, take me to court at the cost of thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds, where solicitors, judges, the police themselves make money out of that. because they've got time to do that, because they're not tackling crime. They're not making the streets safe, which I've already been over, so I'm not really going to go over again. But they have a lot to answer for the pigs. Now, in a giant mental asylum full of dangerous fucking people, you need police, the threat of prison and all of these things. You know, I'm in no denial about that. To stop everybody literally killing each other, because that's the world of wackos, and how the population has been programmed from birth regarding the TV, violence, society, anger. So what they're very good at is controlling the actions and the mobs, and use teenagers to do it. Like now, when I drive, I literally drive. I'm like an old man. I'm an old man when I drive. I very rarely drive at 70 miles an hour now. I'm in no hurry. I leave early. I get to work on time. With hours to spare sometimes, you know what I mean? Depending on where I am and what I'm doing. So I'm in no rush. So I don't rush. When I was younger, when I first passed my test, I drove everywhere at 100 miles an hour. 100 miles an hour. If I weren't driving at 100 miles an hour, I was blasting my horn and fucking bibbing at people. You know, you change. You get more responsible with age. And the kids are fucked because the parents are at work. And it's society, the education system and the media that bring them up. And then the police and all that profit from the actions of those children. You're fucked. Children are fucked from a young age. Like literally, the mental illness, all my mental illness was in there before I left school. Quite a long way before I left school. When I started high school, that was already in there. I was punching people's hearts out, yeah, at the age of 10 or 11. You know what I mean? Walking round, they shut your hole, innit? I'll punch your fucking heart out. My first ever friend, little D. My best mate, Dad. They were both expelled from school in the first 2 to 3 years of high school for stabbing people. My first ever friend stuck a pair of scissors into some cunt's leg and opened it up. And my best mate Dad stuck a knife into some geezer's leg at the ice cream van and was expelled from a different school. He'd already been expelled from Icknield, and that was the second school, Halliard, that he got expelled from for stabbing someone. So at school age, you're a complete fucking dangerous maniac. Society has bred dangerous maniacs. Bad parenting, the media and society, the education system has created dangerous maniacs. You're still cute at that age. No. Ooh, they're cute. Don't mean they're not dangerous though. They only get older. And they're already deluded, suffering the delusions of the world and society from a very young age. If they're not violent, it doesn't mean they're not deluded and dangerous. some are more dangerous than simple acts of violence. Some cause more harm to society. I've already been over this. A teacher is more dangerous to creation and society than a violent individual. And so is a doctor, nurse. Are they not the people that administer vaccinations? This is winding me up, and I'm just going to talk about this quickly. So let me just point this out, what's taken place. I've gone to the doctors. He's misdiagnosed that. He didn't even bother getting out the dermoscope to look at it. Referred me to a dermatologist. Then all of a sudden there was like a million different appointments that just appeared out of nowhere the day after I'd posted about it on the internet. It could be coincidence. I don't know about that. That's never ever happened in my history of going to the doctors before that took place. I then go to that expert dermatologist. He checks my back. He asked me about which mole it was. I've told him and pointed it out. He looked at it and made a cancer referral, but he also checked all the other moles on my back. He referred me for one mole. So one doctor said no, it's not, without even checking it. Another doctor, as professional dermatologist, has checked my entire back, pointed out one mole, the mole that I'd pointed out, and referred me to the cancer unit. The cancer unit, then I asked for them to check moles on top of my head, because he asked you a question, are there any other moles? Now, what took place the first time I had this was that I went to Luton and Dunstable Hospital, urgent. I was there within weeks. I was given a full body check, meaning my entire body was checked for moles, and she checked my lymph nodes. She took my, she gave me a full body check, like how they used to. Blood pressure, temperature, lymph nodes. Checked for signs of any form of illness. Here, did none of that. The dermatologist didn't do that. The doctor didn't do that. And then I'm being sent for a photograph. When I've gone to see this head nurse, she's the head of that cancer unit. She's then trying to tell me that I've pointed out a different mole when I'm pointing out that the doctor didn't do it. Now, I'm not rude to these people, because the second you even dare raise your voice, they will have the police in there and they will say that you are being abusive and threatening towards them. But I do let them know, in no uncertain terms, that I'm not happy with what's happening, because I'd been through it before. So I wanted to know why the level of care there was completely different to the level of care there. So she's checked my entire back. She's trying to tell me that the mole now in question wasn't melanoma, and I said, I'm not talking about that one, I'm talking about this one. I've then gone into the surgery the day after, and there was a student in there because it's a teaching hospital. Now, if this is a teaching hospital, this is the blind leading the fucking blind. And they are not fit for purpose, clearly. So, what's taken place is that this surgeon is telling one of his students to look at the mole, and he says, look at that one and notice the colour differentiations in it through the dermoscope. That student has pointed out that the mole next to it is showing some form of colour dissonance. I've asked that surgeon why he's not removing it then. He says, where do you stop? I says, yeah, but you're telling me that mole is showing. Yeah, well, it needs. And then that nurse walked into the room and he said, this one needs to be kept under observation. Like I said, this is all verbal now. So nothing is logged on their system. For all I know, that could have been folded over. Now, I've been given the all clear for that, meaning they've checked a large incision around it, which has gone right up to the other one, so there should be no one of that being able to spread, and it is much smaller and at an earlier stage. If there's even anything wrong with it. There are a number of conclusions to this. So then when I've gone back in this time, someone else has said, oh, I need to check your back. Have you had it before? I hear you've had it before. So, and I just want to point this out. Very early on in the training program, I was shown that how elaborate what I will call an intelligence operation is. And I blew one out, a couple of them out. They shut down Luton Arndale Centre, and I walked into the police station and got Betsy to write a letter to his bosses for me, which was a threat or a warning. Now I know that took place. Betsy knows that took place. Large amounts of the police know that took place. What the mental patients fucking believe and what they don't believe are two fucking different matters, and they're not important. Anyway. So I was shown that when you're walking down a street, the bin man is undercover. A blind man over there is undercover. That woman, old lady there, is undercover. That tramp is undercover. That child or teenager is undercover. All shapes and sizes, which is why I don't trust anyone I meet that I've never met before. I only know their story that they are telling me. So I've been trained to constantly listen to every word and spend my rest of my existence, meaning free time and time, analysing every word that is said to me. Memorize it, go over it, see if there are any discrepancies in words that they say, whether they change their stories. And I've always been like this my whole life. I spot liars a mile away. Some are very good at it, some are very accomplished at it. And then you've got to also add up the scenarios of would that take place at that and that. So however, what way I look at it, so let's just play the devil's advocate here and go along with something I'm not necessarily agree with, just for argument's sake. What you have then clearly is an NHS, vast amounts of doctors that can check your back and get that wrong, that are in the clinics. And this is in Blackpool, not down here, not in Luton. Luton was great. Luton's full of immigrants. Blackpool is a predominantly white area. So is the level of healthcare worse in white areas? It's a question. It's a question. Is it worse in white areas? Blackpool is predominantly white. You can go into Tesco's in Blackpool and it's spot the immigrant. When I go into Tesco's in Luton, in London, I'm the minority. It's a question. What's happened to the level of healthcare in that 10 years? Is it orchestrated? Are they told not to offer that level of care? So let's just say it was, well, they knew about it and they're just cashing in, which is the only other solution to that, conclusion to that, no? Why do something for free when we can cash in and make more money out of that? Scarring and chopping my back up to fuckery. Because that can only be the other conclusion, because they could have just removed that in one operation, one scar, one healing process. But they're willing to cause me pain, suffering, financially, physically, and scar the fuck out of my fucking back to make their employers money. Because that can only be the other conclusion to that, no? How is the head of the department unable to spot that, yet other people are? A student. Now, no one can argue with what I experienced. What I've seen and witnessed. It's not up for debate, and I won't be arguing with it. I don't want money. I earn my money. Justice. Fairness. Is the health service there then cashing in and wounding, and there's nurses that are willing to do this? Surgeons, doctors are willing to lie and again, if that's cancerous, they say that early detection and treatment is vital in your chances of survival. Are they playing games with your survival for money? That would tell me yes. So is it is there a north-south divide or postcode lottery? And is it the indigenous that are offered a worse treatment? If you go into Luton and Dunstable Hospital, you will see that it's predominantly immigrants in there, because Luton and Dunstable now, well, Luton more than Dunstable, the indigenous are becoming the minority. Certainly what you see on the streets, it looks that way. And this is not white. This is not black, Asian, because there are white immigrants there as well. Are immigrants being looked after more than the indigenous then? That's what that's telling me. Or is it a coup against me? We're doctors. Are they doctors? Now, how a hospital works is that it operates on shift patterns. I've seen, so you see different people wandering around at all times, different hours of the day, mixed up all the time, so you bump into people. So it'd be quite easy, and then they have temp staff as well. People that have been shipped in from other hospitals and things like that to help out. So, people that aren't there all the time would easily fit in and be part of that network. So that's a possibility. In a mental asylum, this world, everyone is willing to do anything for money. I'll point out here, I'm working for the same company that I was working for before. I've just been promoted. For that to take place, I was told to tell a lie. Now, I don't care. I couldn't give two fucks about either party in this, but I'll tell the story. The reason I'm working where I'm working now, and I've actually not even found my last 1, 2, 3, 4 jobs. Three jobs. I've not found any of them. They came to me. So, I'm not going to get a job. I'm not getting a job at that moment in time, because I was just about to go back to work when I found this out. I then get a text message come from making furniture, because it's doing me head in just sitting around thinking about it. I then get a text message, and I'll say it out loud. But I know I'm being watched at all stages. This here is a camera microphone of epic proportions, just that alone. The intelligence services would come into your home when you're not there and put cameras everywhere. They probably may even already have cameras in everyone's home, in the fire alarms, in vast amounts of devices that people have put in there. They're tiny, you cannot see them, and they would be behind something, because that's what the rulers of society would do. It's not really that wild accusation. Mental patients who believe in the spies and James Bond and that come up with completely other wacko shit, but you're dealing with mental patients, so fuck them. Anyway, in the fictional world of El Capitan, this is like fucking on the rigs. But anyway, I say it out loud, so it's like I'm pondering to myself. I do this often and see what happens. So I say to myself, right, fuck it, I can go back to work now. I've got 2 weeks, so I can always say to the person, look, I've got an appointment on that day for that. Tomorrow I'm going to look for work. I get out the shower. Beep, beep, beep. My phone's gone. Alright mate, I've got a paving job down in fucking Enfield. You interested? Now this is the agency or the bloke I worked for, and for the job I did in Stevenage. He has rung me in the past to see if I was busy, and I've rung him. It could be a coincidence. But I do look at it and question it. It could be a coincidence. It could just be the plan of the All-Father, and I've been led to other people. It could be an entire fucking coup. I take everything as it's a coup, and if it ain't, then I just crack on with what I'm doing. I don't worry about anyone, because they're no worry to me. I don't have a problem with anyone, because they're not a problem to me. If they are anyone of any interest, they're a problem to themselves, not a problem to me. So I just crack on as normal and just talk nicely and crack on. But, you know, strange coincidence, I would say that. Anyway, the bloke, the foreman, was friends with the bloke I had a row with, or didn't have a row with. I told him what was what, because he was a little prick. Dickhead. And they were mates. Well, this is the story. They're mates. And he'd given this bloke my number and asked for him to find pavers. So he'd been put onto this agency bloke by his mate to find pavers. So I get offered decent enough money. So I go there. You know. They know I'm lazy as well, but they know I'll just take jobs. So if I ring up, whoever's first comes in, I'll go to that job. I'm not fussy about it. I'll travel there, and if I don't like it, I'll fuck off and go somewhere else. They know that, and they know how to make me leave jobs as well when they don't want me there. So they know that if someone starts getting cheeky to me, I'll probably leave, because, you know what I mean, or I'll either let them know what's what, or tell them to fuck right off and leave as well. So everything could be a deceptive facade. I don't know that. I don't care whether it is or it isn't. Anyway, so I'm there. I've been there for 6 months. I hate the whole thing of agency. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a piss take. You're paying, so now you've got another person taking fucking money off your back. Go on Indeed. Indeed is pretty much agencies. It's large amounts of agencies. So, and Coinford was, I'm looking for work on the internet, and my phone rang. Hello, I've got your CV off of Indeed. I've got to start for you. Alright then. That stops me sending emails, stops me doing things. I don't know whether I'm, like I said, I may be lying. People will start looking. I don't know. Or care. Because I'm on my own. And I will always be on my own, because my job is too big to have any form of inner circle. Everything is on a need-to-know basis, and if anyone does come round me, I'll be constantly watching and looking for any form from you, and if I see you as a threat to what I'm doing, I'll eradicate that threat. I don't have problems, I only have solutions to the problems that may occur. Or obstacles. Let's call them obstacles, not a problem. A problem is an obstacle you can't get around, so then it becomes a problem for you. They're not a problem. It's an obstacle that I will find a solution to. I don't have problems. I only have solutions to all problems. That's what makes me a fucking genius. Anyway. He's getting £2 an hour off my back. So he's getting £20 a day, £100 a week for 3 months, or for 5 months, nearly 6 months. So I don't even know what that is. What's that? £100 a week for 6 months. 6 times 4. Nearly just under 2.5 grand for sending me a text message. So he's made 2.5 grand for sending me a text message. No? You don't even pay my wages. He didn't pay my wages the first time. So it's not through him whatsoever. He just got 2.5 grand as a finder's fee. Now, I should have had a pay rise a long time ago for the work I've been doing, but that company can't afford to give me a pay rise because they're paying him. But anyway, the first thing I was asked to do was tell a lie. Tell him you've left. Alright. Not a problem. Now, it may all be above board. I don't know, you know. It's just the All Fathers program working into thing. Does it matter if it is a coup? No. If I'm guided to any of these people and I've got to execute them, you know, that's out of my hands. If they come into play at a later date, that's just the plan of the All Father. Maybe I'm going to meet people for at a later date. They may be part of the army of the dead. I don't know. It's not my plan. I simply go about my daily business and polite to everyone I meet. I'm polite to all the nurses as well. It could be that. I'm just doing my job. My job is a cunt killer for the All Father, the Almighty. So I trump your ass, anyone who claims it's their job. So it's your job, and you're willing to hack me up over and over again to make your employers money? Fucking hell, man. What, are you sick? You sick in the fucking head? That is revolting. Cause me pain and suffering and hack me up with sharp blades to make money for billionaires? Do you realise how disgusting that is? What goes around comes around. And you masquerade as a health service? You take a position of trust using the theft of my wages as an endless pot for your employers, and you're willing to thieve off the public, deceive the public, hack up the public, and cause them pain and suffering and put their life in danger so that you can cash in on their worry, their sickness, their fucking pain and suffering for your employers, while masquerading as your health service and a servant of that. helping people. We're here to help you. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. So these are the conundrums that I'm left to deal with, like, you know, they knew that was there. If none of them are fit to do their jobs, or they're willing to leave things on you, is it that serious? Are they just cashing in? Is another scenario. Yeah, look, you know, I spoke to loads of people who've had melanomas. They've all survived. If it's left unchecked and untreated for many, many years, maybe it could become life-threatening. Is it as serious as they're making out? Or is it them cashing in? Up for debate. I was also looking at private healthcare, so I've been looking at private healthcare as well. So, you know, I did make an inquiry into private healthcare on the internet for some quotes and some information on it. I then got a phone call from one company. I haven't had many companies. You know, when you make an inquiry into an insurance company, you get loads of offers normally from compare websites and all of this. Here I got one phone call from people, one person, who basically told me outright what policy I should have. I recommend that to you. Do you? Some require you to take... None have offered Bupa to me. Yet Bupa is what I always talk about. Like, you know what I mean? I want a bit of Bupa, man. And Bupa's bad. Yeah? But none offer Bupa to me. Because Bupa, you've got to go for, like, checks and all of that. So I'm inquiring about it. I then had another phone call. I've told people at work that I was intending on getting that removed privately. So then maybe the authorities have to target another group of people, and maybe these things can get out, because not everybody is guilty of things. Yeah, most people will have things they want to be hidden, but not everyone is a deranged wacko. Vast amounts of the population are. And the mobile phone is how they've caught everyone masturbating, having affairs. So there's stick on loads of people just by these devices, and the deviance of society has led people to be deviant. So, you know, there's stick on loads of people that the authorities have just from the mobile phone. So I know that could all take place. Large amounts of people, and large are just deviant, and they would take money without a stick. So like I said, you know, like I do know people, and another thing I do quite often as well is I show people stuff, so I know gossip. So like I'll say to, like, you know, and I know how it goes around, so I'll say to fucking one bloke at work, I say, fuck me, you know, because building sites are full of women now. I say, fuck me, she's alright, man, I'll fuck her. And then someone else later on that day will say to you, fucking hell, I hear you want to fuck her, you think you'd fuck her? And I'm like, I'll say, no, it's not really that much of a compliment, like, you know, I'd fuck most women, you know, unless they're fat blobs. I've only fucked one blob, proper blob. It's revolting. You're fucking a blob. You're literally fucking a fucking blob. And the blob, because this is the world, you know, there's no helping the fucking world here. The blob has got married, according to what's on Facebook. She's got married. She's married some black bloke, actually. How do people do that? Like, yeah, man, I want you to meet me wife, my future wife. Introducing that to your mates, like, you definitely don't want to, you know, wouldn't even, you know, it's only because I was making the points about the, like, fucking blobs and all of this shit, yeah. You know, one for the god and all that, but, you know, I wouldn't really, you know, it's not something you'd really admit. You definitely wouldn't want to be seen in public with the hideous, ugly, fat fucking human pig blob, revolting blob. Honestly. Yeah, man, I want you to meet me future wife. Blob comes around the corner. Oh my god. Yeah, man, respect. How do you introduce her to your family? Yeah, we're getting married, look. Is it? We're happy for you. And he's taken her, according to Jamaica, right? What's the world coming to? Where you got to fucking wine and dine a blob. Fucking hell. And a slag blob at all of that. You know what I mean? That's just how mentally ill the world is. You know what I mean? That you've got to fucking wine and dine. You are the most beautiful blob in the world. Yeah, man, I want to marry you and spend my life with you. You know what I mean? Like, wow, man. Wackos everywhere. Anyway, yeah, I've lost what I was fucking saying. Who cares? That'll do. That's long enough. If I need to go over anything in this video, and I'm certain I never even got to go over some of the stuff in the last one. Does it matter? Not really. Of course. You know, I can't talk forever. I'd be talking for the rest of my life and still not really get through to how bad the wackoness of the world is. But, you know, however I look at things, it don't really look good. There's no real excuses for a lot of things. You know, is it unique? Or is that the NHS the whole way over? Cancer. Years ago, when you were sick and you went to the doctors, they checked your blood pressure, your temperature, looked in your ears, in your mouth, at your throat, felt your glands. They checked you over to fuck. I've had cancer, and not one of them has done that. I've actually got a letter here that I've got from a GP. The GPs that fucking, you know, the ones that fucking... Oh no, that's the teaching hospital one. Oh, I've got fucking... This is my office and everything now. So, office. So, I've just been to fucking Blackpool. Yeah, so now the doctors who misdiagnosed me with cancer have offered me, oh here, look, and has it got my number on it, NHS number? Let me hide that. We're inviting you to attend a free NHS health check. So when I go to the doctor for cancer, he's seen me and doesn't check me over. Now I've got to go at a separate time for a separate appointment. I've been seen by like loads of different doctors, but we don't take temperatures. We're skin doctors. It's cancer, like, you should really, and I'm certain you're able to take a temperature. So this is the NHS all over, or the private companies, which is Adelaide Family Practices. We're an NHS doctors, meaning that we get free money from the NHS for how many customers we get. So yeah, they've invited me there. We should take 20 to, and we're going to ask you some questions, some family history, take your height, weight and blood pressure. They know my family history because it's on medical records. They know my history because it's on medical records. Yeah, I asked for my medical records, or I asked the hospital about my medical records. Even the doctors, when you go in there, you've got to tell them about your history, not them. Years ago, they would know your history, and they would ask you questions on what used to, how are you dealing with that? Has that come back yet? And they would check your whole body for everything. Now they don't do that. Because they're not there to detect. So as you get older in life, they can start threatening you with things and telling you you've got illnesses. Oh yeah, you've got that. You need to take these drugs. And if you don't, you're mentally ill. And then they'll send them fucking cunts round to you as well. Because this is the mental asylum. This is how deep it goes into society. And the reason you would never be able to help this world is because the mental patients would attack you for attacking their owners, because they're desperate to hang on to their mental illness. Even down to like my mates, when I'm, someone I knows very well. You know what I mean? No one is going to tell me I'm not watching porn when I'm telling him it's deranged. You know what I mean? And a lot of people I know, their hobby is hunting tramps, like totally desolate human being, drug addicts on the streets to fuck. It's their hobby. I've lost nothing in this world, because I never had anything to lose. Yeah, when I first found out the world, I was desperate to try to hang on to it. When I never had anything to lose. I know blokes that shove shit up their giant bottles and Mr. Sheen cans and shit up their arse. That all sit round watching pornos, taking drugs and masturbating for days. That hunt tramps to fuck. You've taken it, because that's wanking. I was a wanker, but I weren't really a cunt. A cunt is when you've progressed from being a wanker and now you're living out what you masturbate over. You've become a cunt. And even worse, sicko. Because now you not only masturbate, you now do what you're masturbating over. And that's the world over. That's the world over. Tramp fuckers. Tramp fuckers. Fucking the desperate, desolate, drug addicted, bruck down tramps that scuttle about the streets, that are so broken that they're willing to be fucking squammed for money. Who's worse? The ones selling themselves, or the ones that pay? You give me a £5, you can finger me. Alright then. I lost nothing in this world. Nothing whatsoever. Just because I had a laugh with people. Don't make them your mates. Come on, lads. Let's get them. Nobody can say I didn't offer family. Togetherness. Come on, everyone. Us against the system. Those words did come out of my mouth. And for years and years and years, everybody told me about everybody's business or through Facebook. I've also bitched off loads of fucking deadly people. Loads of people don't like me. And even the ones that claim they did, a lot were just jealous. And they hate you anyway because they're jealous of you. Because they ain't you. So I've lost nothing. Nothing whatsoever. I've been blessed. Praise the Lord. Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. You're all goners. You know what I mean? Listen. You're part of the plan. And you need to redeem yourself. Pledge your life to the All-Father. You must confess. Confess your sins to yourself. And know you're a wacko. And ask for help. It may be there. But it takes dedication. Or it's nobody. My life's a lot easier when it's nobody. Do I want to see any of them again? I'm not fussed either way. Part of it's the reason why I'm on here still, I don't know, because I keep thinking I'm close to them in Luton. My little haven. I love it there for some reason. But am I just being lazy? Are there other places? The work thing, yeah, I had to ring up the geezer, tell him I found another job. To get the £2 an hour that he was getting put onto my wages. I shouldn't have had to do that, because he shouldn't have been getting the £2 an hour in the first place. He made £2,500 off my back for doing fuck all, and he made money last time, so I don't feel guilty about that. But I don't like lying, which is why I've told the truth. But no one's looking, so he won't see it, they won't see it, so you know, I've got nothing to worry about. That's why I can't offend anyone with anything I say, because no one's looking. I'm just a madman. I'm the mad hat. And my name is Terry Sace. I was registered at birth Terry Horton. Sace is my stepdad's name that was changed by my mum and stepdad when they got married, so that no one else knew they had a little bastard. My name by society's birthright should be Hattle. I look like that, man, but I'm nothing like him. I have mannerisms and that from him, but I'm nothing like him. He fucked my mum, the dirty cunt. And own up to it. I wouldn't have owned up. You know what I mean? He's a serial blob fucker. Fuck that. Fuck that. Later.